So let me guess, you were searching on YouTube trying to find different ways to improve your credit score and trying to find out how exactly you can get a hard inquiry removed off of your credit report. Well, guess what? That's exactly what I am going to show you step by step in this video. So make sure to bring out your notepad if you're taking notes on your phone, or if you're watching this on your phone, make sure to bring out a notepad, a piece of paper, a pen, because I am going to give you everything you need to know when it comes to removing a hard inquiry off of your credit report step by step. This is exactly what the big credit repair companies do day in, day out, and I'm going to give it to you here in this video totally for free. The only thing that I ask is that you hit that like button down below and you share this with someone that you think might find value in this content. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay up to date with videos just like this coming in each and every single week. All right, let's get to work. When it comes to a hard inquiry and when it comes to a soft inquiry, they're two different things. And I first want to lay the framework of why this is important to know, because one of them impacts your credit score while the other one doesn't. Let's go ahead and define the difference. When it comes to a soft pull or a soft inquiry, those are things that you get in the mail, or let's say kind of like a promotional offer. Let's say you've just been instantly approved for a $5,000 credit card or 0 APR, right? We've all seen that junk mail. Usually we look at it and we throw away. Those are the promotional deals. Or if maybe you have an app like a Credit Karma, or maybe if you're scrolling through, let's say another type of financial app where you're checking your credit score on, or your credit report, you'll also see on that little side tab where it gives you the suggested credit card for your credit score, right? Those are soft pulls, and that's just another way of those credit companies saying, looking at your information, maybe the last four of your social, or just kind of monitoring what's on your report slightly without having to pull it, stating, okay, they seem reasonable, right? It's a real small risk assessment. But when it comes to a hard pull, that's totally different. And as you've seen, it does weigh and does have an impact on your credit report. For example, if you have one too many hard pulls, especially if you're denied, you can see anywhere between a 3 to, in some instances, a 5-point decrease off of your credit score. This is, let's say, when you are shopping for a new car, or if you are trying to apply for a new credit card, or even when you are applying for a mortgage, right? And it's all part of the process, but here's what ends up happening. Specifically when you are trying to purchase a car. When you go to a car dealership, and not trying to knock them because this is what they do, but when you go to a car dealership, their main focus is to get you into a car. So what they do is they run your social, they run your information, and they try to pass it off to as many different credit card or bank or credit or bank companies as possible to try to get you into the vehicle that you're looking at. So sometimes they're running through 5, 6, 7, even 8 different companies trying to get you the best rate or the best price to get you in and out of the door with that car that you want. Again, it's part of their business, but here's what ends up happening. If you're approved for the car, you're only going to get hit 1 to 2 points, right, on the hard pull. But if you're denied for the car, and believe me, they have a way of finding out if you've been denied. If you are denied for the loan, if you don't leave with the vehicle, or maybe you just decide to change your mind and say, you know what, I don't want to buy a car today, it just doesn't make sense. Well, guess what? Your credit's already been hit 3 to 5 points by maybe 5 or 6 different banks. So what that means is, let's say at 5 banks, let's say 5 banks, we're gonna go ahead and multiply that by 5 points. That's a 25-point drop. So if you were in the 700s, well, guess what? You're waking up tomorrow morning with a 675, and that's not what we wanted to see when it comes to having our credit. Now, in addition to that, hard pulls stay on your credit report for a maximum of 24 months. But who the heck wants to wait? When you stumbled upon this video, and you can get these hard inquiries removed, again, by watching this video, and that's why you're here. Check this out. So the first thing that I want you to do when you are going to apply, or when you're going to apply this information, or when you are going to remove these hard inquiries from your report, is I want you to pull yourself and do yourself a favor. Pull your own credit report. You can do it for free, either on Credit Karma if you have the app, but I will have a little caveat on there. That report may not have all the information that you need in order, or up-to-date information that you need in order to see what items are actually on there. So I'm going to give you a website. Go to annualcreditreport.com. You can pull a free credit report on there for the 3 bureaus. That's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. This is why this is going to be important. You are going to print that out. Don't do it on your phone. Put your phone down, keep your phone on, listen to this video, pull up a laptop, pull up an iPad, whatever you have, and print it. Print it. Here's why. You're going to print those items, you're going to circle, you're going to highlight, you want to have a physical copy of what you're working on. This is going to be your framework for what's to come. So now that you've identified, okay, I have 3 hard inquiries with TransUnion, I have maybe 2 with Equifax, and I have 1 with Experian. Remember, they all report differently because they get their data sometimes from different sources, which I'm going to show you why that's going to make sense here in just a second. You are now, before sending any type of letters out, before moving any forward, you are now going to head over to SageStream.com, and you are going to head over to LexisNexis.com. And if you've never heard of this and you're wondering what the heck is that, these are separate database sites that these 3 credit bureaus take a look at when they are trying to verify if the information is valid. Because remember, the burden of proof is on these companies that have filed and have put these hard inquiries onto your credit report. Meaning, you weren't behind that desk when you were applying for, let's say, these credit cards. They don't actually have your wet signatures. So now they have the burden of proof of actually substantiating that, yes, indeed, this belongs to you, and no, it's not a mistake. But we want this off of our credit report altogether because we want our score to go back up. Now, when it comes to freezing LexisNexis and SageStream, this is important to note because this is where the credit bureaus get their information from for things like the properties that you've owned, the addresses that you've lived in, any, let's say, liens that you have, things like that. And this is how they're able to verify or validate some of the information without having to actually put any work in. So you're trying to make it harder and you're trying to suppress these bureaus from being able to verify or validate that again, may be errors and maybe mistakes that's on your credit report altogether. Now, a pro tip here before moving forward and showing you exactly how to block this information and how to freeze it is you want to try to dispute your oldest hard inquiries first before going after the new ones. The new ones may take some time and they may be a little harder to get off of your credit report, but the older ones, especially if they've been on for a year or they've been on for already over 6 months, those should definitely come off a lot quicker. Okay. When it comes to freezing SageStream and when it comes to freezing LexisNexis, you can either do it with letters. You can send them. I have those letters and those templates over in my exclusive group, which you can have access to. I'll drop the link in the bio if you haven't joined already. Or if you wanted to, maybe if you already have your own letters or if you're already working with someone that's giving you those letters, you can send those out. And then the other, let's say, tip that I can give you here, and if you just wanted to do it yourself right now, pause this video, you can go ahead and just do it right on their website, SageStream, as well as LexisNexis.com. Now that you've frozen those websites, you want to then proceed into preparing the information that you are going to be sending these 3 credit bureaus. So you want to have your ID ready, you want to have your social security card ready, and you want to have a utility bill ready because they're going to ask you to validate the address that you have if that's indeed where you live. So you want to make sure that your license and your utility bill match up with the same address, because this is a quick way that you can also dispute, especially if they have an old address on there. Then that's even a quicker way of them being able to knock that off of your credit report. Now comes the part where we send a letter, and we are going to send them a very specific letter known as a 604 letter. Now you can get yourself a free template over on FCRA, which is a Fair Credit Reporting Act. You can go ahead and Google that, and it should take you to a website called the FTC.gov. Up top in the search bar, you can just go ahead and put 604 Act. With that 604 Act, it should take you and show you a template or a sample dispute letter. That's perfectly fine. Go ahead and print that out. Fill it in with your information. It's pretty self-explanatory. Fill it in with your information, everything that's applicable to you. You are then going to take a separate sheet of paper. Remember, we already printed out the Experian, the TransUnion, and the Equifax, those hard inquiries. You are then going to match up those account numbers, and these are 3 different letters that are going out per bureau. Keep that in mind. So it's a total of 6 sheets of paper. You are then going to print out, or you're then going to write on a separate sheet of paper all of the accounts that you are looking to dispute. Now, word of caution. If there's an account or there's a credit card that you still have open, make sure that you're not disputing that hard inquiry, because it could end up closing your account, and that could really put a ding on your credit score. Remember, you're not trying to remove any open accounts right now. You're just trying to remove those hard inquiries. In addition to that, another tip that I wanted to give you is if you plan on applying for another credit card or open up another trade line, or if maybe you're moving and you're looking to rent somewhere else, right? Your lease is coming up. Make sure that you unfreeze SageStream as well as LexisNexis, because that's also the place, or that's also the source that some of these rental companies use in order to find that information on you. So now that you have that information that's about to go out, and I want to go ahead and put a big, what I can call, put this in big bold letters, and I probably put it across your screen right now. Do not wet sign those letters that are going out. Type out your signature, but don't put pen to paper, because remember what we mentioned earlier, this is all called burden of proof. And the last thing that you want to do is have your wet signature lined up with what they have on file on the other side. You don't want to give them that kind of power. So type it out, and make sure that you send it via certified mail. The reason why you want to send it via certified mail is because time is of the essence with things like this, and the bureaus are going to have a certain period of time where they are going to be able to get back to you, especially with everything happening. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Snail mail is even slower than what we saw prior to this moment. So this sending it out could take a little longer in terms of hearing a response. But some people, let's say you're sending it via certified mail, because again, you want to be able to track and keep an eye on once they receive it. Some people have noted that they have had these hard inquiries removed within 24 to 48 hours because they follow the exact guidelines that I'm giving you in this video. Now, you can go ahead and try doing this online through the Experian, TransUnion, and Experian websites. But in my opinion, for something like this to really work, I would highly recommend that you just go ahead and send these letters in, because it'll put more pressure on those bureaus to actually validate and report or verify this debt that's going to come off of your report. There you have it. That is the secret remedy when it comes to removing these hard inquiries from your credit report. I would love to know if and when this works for you to drop down in the comments and let me know, hey Irv, this worked for me, or hey Irv, I had a question about this. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments any questions that you possibly have. We'll love to answer them to the best of my ability. And if you want a direct access to me, or if you want to schedule a consultation, a one-on-one consultation, I will drop those links for the private member group down in the bottom, as well as my virtual calendar down in the bottom as well, so that you can see my availability for the next weeks to months. Once again, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Join the official community. Don't forget that anytime we're not posting on here, we're posting over on the Inside with Irv show, which is our podcast style channel. And I want to thank our sponsors over at Webull, where you can pick up 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you deposit $100, as well as our amazing YouTube course that shows you how to build a YouTube channel and shows you how to monetize both on YouTube as well as off of YouTube, helping you build multiple sources of income. You can find all those links down in the description. Once again, I appreciate you watching. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.